crazy out here, man. I mean, there's a lot going on in the streets. There's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm. Tipsy, I'm calm, then I blow up like Vietnam bomb.
Mike was muted. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Shots in the Dark. I am Donnie Darko. This is my co-host, G-Rated, my cousin. What's going on, man?
What up?
Another day, another dollar, bro. First of all, let's get these formalities out of the way, because if it weren't for our sponsors and employers, we wouldn't even be here right now. So you guys know what to do. Shoot the Breeze Networks. Follow us on Facebook. Like, subscribe. Well, you can't really subscribe on Facebook, but like, follow on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter, STB Pod TV. What do you do on Twitter? You follow and you like. Yeah, you do all that. I'm learning Twitter. Sorry, guys. Anchor FM. You already know that's the spot for the podcast. Apple Podcasts. Come on now. Give it that 5 stars. Or what's his name? Dame Drops to say a 5 all day. Email us at shootthebreezepodtv@gmail.com. And one of us will get back to you, either me or Breezy. So that's the formality. Was that you? That wasn't me. Was it me?
No, it was something popped up on my computer.
Okay. Yeah. So how you doing today, man?
I'm good, bro. You know, living the dream.
Man, shut that shit off.
I gotta. I don't know how to stop these things from coming through. Let me figure that out. Because I'm signed in on my girlfriend's account on the computer, right? So she's sitting in the other room teaching, so all of her things are dinging through. Let me.
Yeah.
Figure out how to do it, bro. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Man, I know what to do. Shoot. Anyway. Yeah, I'm new to this Apple thing too, and I bugged out the first time I saw it or heard it. My phone started ringing, and then like 3 seconds later, it was like a little bit of a delay. My computer started ringing. I was like, what the hell? So, yeah, I get it. But I like Apple. I'm really feeling Apple. I'm getting nice with these graphics on here. I'm adding music to stuff. You already know. You saw with the intro. But, yeah, man. So, I watched that Godfather Part 3 or Godfather Coda, The Death of Michael Corleone last night.
Corleone?
Yeah, so they changed. I mean, I would say spoiler alert, but they didn't really change much. But there was one significant thing that they changed. And it wasn't like a new scene or anything. They just cut the scene off at the right place. They at the beginning, they took some things out. They sped the movie up a little bit. Me personally, I like the original Godfather 3. I know everybody hates it, but I'm not that way. I actually thought it stood well on its own, and I don't try to compare the 3, but it was good. A lot of people hated it. I don't understand why. They say Sofia Coppola's character was just not believable. And one of the reasons they say so is because of her California Valley Girl accent, if you will. And it actually says in the movie that she grew up in California. They moved with Kate, right? So I don't understand why people have a problem with that. She has a California accent. But yeah, it was good. The one thing that they changed that I liked was the ending, because I thought it was unnecessary back when they did the original Godfather to not kill. They show you Michael dying in the end, of old age or whatever. And I just thought that was unnecessary. And so this movie is called The Death of Michael Corleone, which apparently Paramount thought was a I'm gonna mute you till you get that fixed. Apparently Paramount thought it was a bad idea to name it The Death of Michael Corleone. And I don't understand why, because they thought it would be like too revealing and give away the end of the movie. But if they would have stuck with the original ending like they redid in this one, it wouldn't have given away. And I'm gonna go ahead and give away the ending. So in the original Godfather, Michael dies. Like, you know, his daughter dies, and then you see him like 30 years later, 30 some odd years later, sitting in a chair, and then he just kills over and dies, right? This one, and apparently was the original ending, he doesn't die. Which ironically, the movie is called The Death of Michael Corleone. Now, the reason I love that ending is because back when I became like intellectual enough to kind of understand poetics and movies and whatnot, I always said that that he shouldn't have died, because his death really happened when his daughter died. That scene gets a lot of shit from people because it's like it does. I guess it doesn't. I don't know. I don't understand. I think it was one of the greatest death scenes in movie history, because if you really look at that part where Michael like realizes what happened, he's trying to catch his breath. That's like the best acting I've seen from Al Pacino. So anyway, he doesn't die in the new Godfather or the redone Godfather. His death is really, like I've said all these years, when he loses his family and his daughter dies. So anyway, it was good. I don't think they should have changed it all. They cut the movie a little bit short, but yeah, they did. So I think they could just go back, re-edit that ending, and leave the rest of the film, because I like it. But you know, movie critics are all a bunch of nerds anyway that don't like anything. So
pretty much.
We actually have a family member, and I'm not going to air him out on here. I think it is just hilarious. Like, you know me, dude. I'm a Star Wars fan through and through. Well, I got this person into Star Wars. He swears I didn't, but it's like, really? Who else would have influenced you? You know what I mean?
I already know who you're talking about.
But like, I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he was like, I was talking about the prequels, and all of a sudden he hates the prequels. And this isn't the Star Wars show. I'm just talking about like this nerd mentality. But I remember very vividly him loving the prequels through his teens and as a kid. So I had to explain something to him. I was like, yo, man, like, this is what happens when you hang around like those nerds your whole life. Because you sit here and you just critique stuff thinking you know anything. You don't even really know who you really are. You know what I mean? Because
that's how he's always been, though, bro.
Yeah. I mean, but it kind of pissed me off because he's like, oh, those movies suck. I'd never like those movies. I'm like, dude, you're straight bold-faced lying to me right now. Like, you're acting like I don't got a memory, bro. Right. And so I told him, I was like, dude, the only people that say that type of stuff are like virgin nerds that live in their mom's basement. And then when they finally like lose their virginity, instead of like consummating with their wife, they beat off to World of Warcraft. And then, you know, while she's out LARPing or whatever, you know, come on, man.
Did you say LARPing?
Yeah. I know you've seen that.
Could I get a definition, please?
So I know you, because you lived in San Luis Obispo area, but when I lived out there, I would always drive by. There's that park over by Cal Poly, and there's all those kids. There's all those like nerds, and they got like
oh, they're doing their freaking their sword fighting and shit.
Yeah, they got like elf costumes and foam swords and their
Pikachu helmets and stuff.
yeah.
Pikachu.
Just like a combined blood sugar level that would kill 6 elephants all in that one. As I'm drinking a Coke, but
absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
I met this dude one time who played Warcraft, right? And he was all he said, don't hate on the LARP. You know damn well you never been LARPing, bro. Hey, happy New Year's, Wesley.
Happy New Year's.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
filthy animals.
You filthy animals. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I mean, to each his own. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and bash nerds all night, but I mean,
Especially ones that you're related to.
I wasn't even going into him. I was just like, yeah, but yeah, it's like,
Well,
it's,
I mean, that's kind of how we started this whole thing.
but you know what, bro? Like, he hasn't spoken to me since. I think I hit him hard on that one.
That's in the Hayworth blood, bro. And then somebody gets offended, they hold a grudge forever and stop talking to you. It's just the way it goes, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys think it's like that. I'm not a Hayworth, so I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, I think you guys think it's like that, but you guys always end up talking to each other again. Like, come on.
No, I know that. Like, life's too short to be holding grudges, bro. Like, talk about it and get over it.
Straight up. I know some of them do, but you know, I hold a grudge. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they say, a Sicilian never forgets. So they actually said that at the end of the Godfather movie. A Sicilian never forgets, and that's actually really true. I hold a grudge, but I'm petty though. So like, I want to see you again. So you know what I mean. So I could take it a step further,
right?
But I don't know. I haven't really grown up in that regard yet.
It's all good. Hey, you may never.
My brother's on here. I can see that.
Where do you see all this at?
In the you probably can't see. You can't see the comments because you're not.
Yeah, I can. I have to click on comments. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we were talking on the phone the other day. So my middle brother is actually like playing the stock market now.
What's up?
My second youngest. Well,
not Tristan, right?
He's on here. He's watching, but he's doing good though, man. Tristan's like crushing it right now. He got a brand new car this year. Got a brand new spot. Sorry, guys. So yeah, congrats, Tristan. But like our other brother, he's playing the stock market. I was real proud of him the other day. He was telling me that, and I was like, "Yo, that's smart, man." Like we were never taught that growing up. Like our father was not really around, and when he was financially irresponsible. So that's dope. But we were talking, and we were like, talking about that movie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Great movie.
You remember when they're sitting around talking about midget darts? And they're having the discussion. And Tristan and me had the same, like, because my brother, me and Jeremy were talking, and we were like, yo, if we worked on Wall Street, that would be us. Just ridiculous. Like, with that kind of money, that is, like, that's the type of ridiculous shit we be doing, right? So I'm texting my brother, like, where I'd be at in the conversation. And I'm like, yo, I'm texting Jeremy, and I'm like, yo, I'd be the dude that's like, yo, I want a tranquilizer gun ready to knock this fucker out if they get ornery or whatever. And he sends me, before I finish typing that, he sends it, and we send it at the same time. That's what I'd be saying. So I talked to Tristan afterwards, and he said the exact same. Me and Tristan are like this, dude. We have the same exact mind. It's crazy. So yeah, we'd be tranking midgets and throwing them as darts and bowling.
Dude, that's such a great movie. There's a podcast. You know, have you ever heard of Bob Menery, the guy the funny sports announcer? Well, he has a podcast, and he had Jordan Belfort on his podcast. Dude, that guy's stories of the shit that really happened in real life. I mean, I don't even know how that guy's alive today. Like, I mean, some of his stories, dude, I was rolling laughing on the way home one day listening to it.
Yeah, but if you think back, bro, like, how the hell are we alive today? You know, right? Come on, man. Like, we've done some crazy shit.
Just say
and only Scorsese could make a movie like that, because you really got to make it like you got to have the audience like, man, I want to live like that. You know what I mean? Until the end, when you see the brutal crash and prison sentence that he gets handed, but.
Dude, yeah, but he got off pretty easy, bro, for the shit that he pulled. Like, he got off real easy.
Honestly,
he's telling this story how he basically took his friends out and they sunk $100 million yacht like it was nothing.
Yeah.
because he told the captain, we got to go. Even though the captain of the boat was like, dude, we're not going to make it. They literally sunk $100 million yacht. And he's like, yeah, I just brushed it off like it was nothing, man. And he's like, I went out and bought another one.
Yeah. Well, they put that in the movie. They didn't really show it sinking, but
yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
But my favorite scene in the whole movie is the very beginning.
Which part?
I don't know if I can describe it on here, but it's where he's doing lines of cocaine out of the hooker's ass.
No, I think he's blowing it in there.
Yeah, well, whatever he was doing,
I heard that's a way to do that.
Yeah,
I've
they
never.
call it a boofing.
Cocaine guy, so
boofing.
I don't like anything that makes my heart rate jack. So thank God for that.
Right.
My father liked it though. It's probably why he's dead now. But yeah, it was a good movie. Great movie. It's like I don't know if I put it up there with my top Scorsese films, but Goodfellas will always be his best.
Yeah, I guess De Niro that's in that one, right? That plays the main guy. Well, I guess he hung out with Jordan Belfort for like 2 months.
You said De Niro? That's Leonardo DiCaprio, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah. What's up?
That's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who did I say it was?
Robert.
It was DiCaprio. Yeah, he hung out with Belfort for like 2 months to pick up the role, so he could like get his mannerisms and pick up. You know what I mean?
Yo, you said De Niro, straight up.
Same thing. Not even close.
Nah. But yeah, they do that. The same with Ray Liotta when he did Goodfellas. He hung out with real Henry Hill.
Yeah,
picked up his mannerisms. I guess Robert De Niro, since we're on the subject of it, the dude, the real guy, Henry Hill, was like, yeah, I got so tired of that guy calling me, because he would call him for like the littlest details of like, hey, how would Jimmy hold a cigarette? He's like, the fuck if I know? Like, I never watched that. You know what I mean? I never like looked that close at him. But Robert De Niro is one of those method actors.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these actors do. They play the part, like even when they're at the dinner table with their family. You know what I mean? They're playing the part.
Right.
But I guess so the Quaaludes, right? They basically knock you on your ass. Well, that's what DiCaprio did, because I guess DiCaprio's never done drugs and he doesn't really drink, so he doesn't really know what it's like to be all messed up like that. So
he actually did Quaaludes?
What's that?
So he actually did Quaaludes?
No. What he did is Belfort basically had to show him what it's like to be on a Quaalude, and I guess you listened to the podcast, and DiCaprio's dad walks in, and it's Jordan Belfort and DiCaprio on the ground, and they're all messed up. He's like, "What the hell is going on in here?"
Yeah, they went on a couple lewd lunges in that movie, and to be honest, lewds don't look appealing after seeing that movie. I don't know why anybody would want to do it. Straight up get cerebral palsy from that. I'm good, bro. Yeah, The Irishman was pretty good. I liked it. It was really long, but I like long movies because movies.
I couldn't really get into that one. That's one of the newer ones, right?
Yeah, it's the one about the guy who killed Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah. That one is really long. I tried watching it, I just couldn't get into it really.
It's funny because like I've come across like on YouTube, there's this dude. I'm not even gonna say his name because I think he's a rat. But this dude is a supposed former mob guy, right? And I say supposed because the mafia doesn't exist. Like, come on, people. That's something the FBI made up. So, he, like, the stuff he does is just stupid. First of all, he's parading around as a Christian. That's number one. Like, if you're a Christian, you're not going to go. And every time he tells a story, he's like, well, I'm not glorifying my old lifestyle. I'm like, well, then what are you doing? Because you're over here telling stories to spark people's interest. You're either that or you're not. Like, he swears he's going around talking like positives, but all he's doing is telling mob stories. Secondly, he goes around bragging that he never ratted. Well, it's like, dude, you're on YouTube and national TV telling stories, and I'm talking everything. This dude claims he knows who killed Jimmy Hoffa. He claims that he knows, like, and here's my problem with that. Like, and Jimmy Hoffa was killed in Michigan, like north of Detroit, right? Do you really think that the mob all over the United States discusses all their murders? That would be stupid. If they did that, we would know where Jimmy Hoffa is right now, right?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
This dude's like, yeah, that Frank Sheeran, the guy they based The Irishman on, it's like, yeah, he's a liar. He didn't have nothing to do with it and blah, blah, blah. I don't know why he said that. Here's my problem with that. The dude said it on his deathbed, like out of guilt, basically, right? And he was like best friends with Mr. Hoffa. And if you look at the timing of that and then this guy's age, the guy that's all over YouTube, how would he know that he was a kid when it happened? You know what I mean? So I don't like that phony junk, man. That's just
Some people just want the clout, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going around parading as a good guy while he says it. Like, oh, I don't condone that lifestyle. It's like, well, then stop talking about it.
Yeah,
I think it's just absolutely ridiculous that he's going around claiming that he knows every hit the mob ever put out. And this guy, yeah, exactly. Good point. The problem with that is everybody that knows the situation and talks about the guy that they made the movie about, they're like, yeah, he definitely did it. Like, he knows way too much. The FBI investigated it. He told them the exact house it happened in, what happened to his body, all that. So they went and did that. What's that stuff called where it makes blood glow? It's like luminol or something.
Illuminating or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget what they call it really, but it's like the illuminating spray. It makes the basically like a black light on it, and you can see where all the blood's been and stuff.
Yeah, so they went and did that, and basically everything he said, how his body was dragged, where it was dragged, where he was shot, they went and did that, did the DNA tests and all that. They found blood in all the places he said there was blood. And they couldn't confirm it because apparently the DNA test results were, you can't get the, you can't possibly tell if that's the right DNA years later. But yeah, I just think it's corny, like stupid corny. All these mob guys that are like walking free now, mob guys, like, put in quotes. Not on widescreen, but yeah, the mafia doesn't exist. It never did. It's just some shit the FBI made up. And even if I did believe it, I wouldn't say it on here. Yeah, interest. To your point, I mean, it's not impossible I don't think it's impossible for crime to be as organized as they portray it in movies, because it is. Our government is a bunch of criminals, and they're pretty organized. Although some of the people in there now are so stupid.
They are government?
Yeah.
They're the most organized criminals in the entire world.
Yeah, that's the mafia. The mafia.
Straight up, bro. Like, that's a whole different ballgame right there. Don't even get me started on that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are their little puppets right now. You got the Democrats and Republicans playing games with each other at our expense, because they don't give a shit, because guess what? They still get paid every month. While you got millions of people out here suffering, don't know where their next meal is going to come from, and they're going to send you $600 and can't agree to send you some of these families more, all because Mitch McConnell said it's going into the wrong hands to families that don't need it. But it's like, at this point, there's so many people out there that need it. Send the money. You know what I mean? Send it. Like, you've had people out of work for 9 months. 600. What's $600 going to do for them? Like, it's insane.
I'm like, it's catch-22 for me, because I don't want to live in a government that is doing socialist handouts and making us dependent on that. But at the same time,
I get that. Me neither.
Yeah. But at the same time, It's like somebody, because I'm very open about what I think, people tend to assume that I associate with one political party or the other. And I used to be a really big Democrat back in the day. Now I hate Democrats. I hate Republicans too, but right now I just hate Democrats more because they whine the loudest. So I'm an independent. Like I said, I said this like a month ago and I put it on Facebook. I'm like, asking me to choose between Democrat and Republican is like asking me to choose between Hep C and AIDS. That's all it is. So yeah, I'm an independent. I go with my beliefs or whatever. But we live in a world right now where people are just so stupid. And yeah, I'm talking to you. I don't care who's out there. If you vote for Joe Biden and think that he's saving your life, click off right now, because
my dead grandma probably voted for him twice. Just be honest here.
Mine did.
I mean, and what's funny is Trump took over, right, and became the most admired man in 2020, right? So you're telling me the most admired man got blown out of the water in the election? Please, like, come on.
Bend over for the government. Exactly.
Basically what we're doing.
I don't get mad at people if they it's not your beliefs that I'm mad at. It's more about how you think going about them. It's like, if you hate Trump, I don't hate you. I don't like all the things Trump does. I wouldn't hang out with the guy. But let's not lie about Joe Biden either. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to hate Trump, let's be honest about the candidate you think is your savior. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's the guy is like in videos groping kids. And, somebody sent me this is why I'm kicked off of Facebook, by the way. I called this guy a pussy.
Checks out.
So, I made it was bipartisan. I was talking bipartisan. And I told this dude, I was like, yo, yeah, okay, he's a racist. Well, the guy you voted for is a pedophile. I didn't argue with him. I'm like, oh, Donald Trump's not a racist. I mean, anybody could argue the point, but my point was simple. It's like, you're going to sit here and say the lesser of two evils. The guy, I posted pictures and videos and GIFs and of him groping kids and grabbing kids by the crotch. And this dude sends me back 2 pictures of Donald Trump with his daughter sitting on his lap. I go, oh, wow.
And I know I've seen that. It's like, what? I've seen that happen with many situations in life. Like, what the hell?
So a guy's not allowed to be affectionate towards his daughter. And I said that, and because his hand was on her hand, this dude, this is the assumption he made, or his defense. He goes, he's trying to move her hand to his crotch. I go, bro, if you think like that, don't
that's liberal for you, bro.
My kid, bro, ever in your life.
That's a liberal for you right there in a nutshell.
That's this generation for you in a nutshell.
Well, dude, and that's what's scary is like, dude, it's right there in front of your face. Like the shit that the politicians have been doing to us and telling us how to live our lives. And people are so blinded by it. I'm baffled by it. It's right there for you to see. Everything's right there in front of you for you to see. And people they just turn a blind eye to it. They don't care, and it's all because of their hatred for one man, the guy that's the president right now.
I don't think it's him that they hate. I think it's the agenda that's been pushed upon them. Like, come on. I grew up with pretty much nothing but Black and Mexican people. Yeah. I've been called racist so many times because I'm not a Democrat. And that's not even Trump excluded, but because I go against Democrat beliefs, I'm supposedly a racist. Well, here's a newsflash for you. I don't care if you think I'm racist. I really don't. You could call every name in the book, call me a fag, whatever you want. What you say doesn't define me. And you're only doing it over the internet. I'll tell you straight to your face. You know what I mean? Like, I will tell you on this show right now, if anybody's got a problem with what I'm saying, DM me for my address. We can talk about it, period. But like I said, I'm not mad if you think Trump is a racist. If that's what you think, fine. But look at your candidate as well. I'm not saying Trump is my candidate. I'm saying that If you're going to call one guy evil, look at the evils of the other guy. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the things I don't like that Democrats think is a good idea, and it's only like privileged white college kids who grew up with a silver spoon saying that socialism is the way to go. Well, here's a newsflash. Not one socialist person from a socialist company or country has ever agreed with that. Why do you think Cubans are risking their lives crossing an ocean to come here?
Exactly.
Not taking nothing away from Mexicans, because they do it too. But I mean, river, ocean. We're talking sharks, and they got some vicious sharks down there in the Keys, man. Like it's not a joke. So, and that's the other thing, man. Like, I want Mexicans to come to this country. I love Mexicans. They got the best food. My brothers are Mexican.
I'm dating a Mexican, bro.
There you go. Yeah, but you're racist.
Right?
Like,
exactly.
It is what it is. But
Racist as hell.
Do I believe in border security? Yes, I do, because I don't want terrorists bringing stuff into this country. And if you know the numbers of kids that are being trafficked across the border, that's like saying to me, if I support, somebody told me if I support border security, that I'm a racist. I go, well, if you don't support it, you're a pedophile, because
you can't just allow people just to flood in our borders, dude. You just can't do it. Like,
it's not even about people. It's about who's coming over. It's not about, I mean, Al-Qaeda and ISIS both have said that, yeah, we'll go over their southern border. If we need to get something in there, we'll go over their southern border. Because but
it's not only that. And then so you got people like Gavin Newsom that is going to tell us Americans, tax-paying Americans, that we have to have health insurance, right? And if we don't, we'll get fined for it. And then that fine money goes to giving illegals free healthcare. So it doesn't make sense. Like I feel like these politicians want to take care of people that are here illegally before they want to take care of their own people. That's what pisses me off about it.
There's this real retarded dude in my girl's family, and I'm not going to air him out, but some of her family members like to bring up politics, and they're like diehard liberals, or so they think. And they try to bring up politics around me and her dad and her mom, and we're all independents. We're not Republicans or Democrats. We're independents. But
I just believe more on the Republican side. That's what it comes down to.
Well, right now it's easier, but because I'm not about cancel culture. I'm not about letting words hurt you or Merry Christmas being offensive. Get the fuck out of here with that. Come on, man. But I will say this: they bring this stuff up, and I don't like to talk about it. I don't at all. Because it's just pointless. Jay-Z said it best. A wise man said, don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who's who. I live by that. But they bring this shit up, and sometimes I just can't help but just snap back and be like, you fucking idiot, dude. Like, this dude goes, well, we're already mostly a socialist country. What do you think social security is? It's in the word social security. I was like, that's not socialism. That's a social policy. This is why you shouldn't be allowed to vote. That you don't know the difference between socialism and social policy. Like, are you kidding me? So,
wow.
These are the people voting. And personally, man, I think do away with Democrat and Republican. It's so screwed up now that.
Yeah, but you can never do away with them, because every election's so freaking rigged in America that it's going to be Republican, Democrats till the day we die. There ain't going to be no independent that wins. No other party's going to win.
Or until this country becomes a tyrannical dictatorship. It's the people. Yeah, the people don't decide anymore. But we
don't, and that's the shitty part about it. It's like we pay all these people, but then we can't even decide at the end of the day who's in charge. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sit well with me.
Well, like I always say, Joe Pesci for president, he'll get the job done. You know what I mean? I saw a meme. It said, if the mafia ran the country, we'd have half the laws and twice the fun. True. Think about it. If the country was run like Vegas, Come on now. But you got to have, and it's a joke, but you got to have some order. But so let's.
Well, and this is the other thing too. It's like there's a term limit on a president, right? There should be no such thing as a career politician. These politicians shouldn't be able to stay in office for 47 years, not do a goddamn thing for us, and still keep running. You got these people that are broke as hell. They get sworn into office, right, on $115,000 salary, and within 5 years, they're worth 15 mil. That's why all these politicians become politicians. They do it for the money, all the dirty, corrupt money that they get, you know? And I guarantee you that's one reason why all these people hate Trump so much is because they didn't get the dirty money. He can't be bought. He's already a billionaire before he went into office, you know? So I don't know. It's politics suck, bro. And politicians suck at the end of the day. Straight up. They are the evil of this world. They don't give two shits about us. You know,
this is a good point right here, though. My opinion on the whole happy holidays thing is if someone could say Merry Christmas, then I should be able to say Happy Kwanzaa without them being triggered. Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing with that. I've had people, especially living in LA, there's a lot of Jews in LA, and I love the Jews. They're awesome. I've had people tell me Happy Hanukkah like many times. And you know what I do? I say it back. I don't stop and be like, wait a second. I'm not Jewish. How dare you? You know what I mean? This stupid broad posted something on Twitter a few weeks ago talking about, it's Christmas and now is the time to realize that not everybody celebrates Christmas. So you shouldn't be saying it. It's like, first of all, bitch, who made you the holiday wishing police? Second of all, anybody that gets like the only people that ever get offended by these things are college, white, liberal, silver spoon fed kids.
Mm-hmm.
I never met, dude. I got lots of, we have lots of Muslims in my area and lots of, some that aren't Muslim or just Middle Eastern, whatever. We have lots of them here. And during the holidays, I say Merry Christmas to everybody. It doesn't mean anything other than, I hope this month is good for you. And I'm acknowledging like, I want you to have a Merry Christmas or happy, whatever the hell you celebrate. They say it back. All of them. Not one of them has ever been like, well, I'm a Muslim. I don't celebrate Christmas. Well, that's because they don't got shit they got other shit to do than bitch. These other kids don't. That's right. They do.
I know it's so crazy. I was just reading that comment. It's like everybody, especially this year, everybody's a bunch of crybabies, dude, and so sensitive. I mean, look at all these statues and like they're basically, or 2020 is the year that they're trying to erase our history books, dude. Like straight up. Like they just took down a statue of Abe Lincoln and a freed slave that's like down, that was like down on his knees, basically thanking him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they took that down because it's offensive. It's like, oh my God, dude.
Can I go on a rant real quick?
Absolutely. Ran it up, buddy.
I'm getting sick of this. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. So, I have this one asshole who, like, if I ever post anything that goes against his beliefs, he comes on with his little Democrat, like everything Democrat with this guy, right? It's if a Democrat says it, it must be true to him. And I think that's just such a stupid way to live. So I posted something letting people know, like, you are over here celebrating that Joe Biden won the election. Democrats. Well, that's for another conversation. But I'm like, you're over here celebrating this guy, but like, have you looked into his history? And I'm like, well, and for that, have you looked into the Democrat history? And here's where my rant starts right here. The Democrats are the racist party. I don't care what you say, who you are, who's watching right now. I don't know who. I mean, there's more people watching than there are people commenting. So, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Democrats are the racist party. They have been since the beginning. And no, nothing has changed. Stop believing that bullshit about the big switch. There was no big switch. Tell me when, if there was one. Because I'm going to go through the history of the Democrat Party for you right now. Okay? And I'm going to quote what this guy said. So I asked him, I go, when did this big switch happen, supposedly? Hold on, I got a little sound issue. Hold on. All right. So, yeah, I asked him, I go, when did this big switch happen? This idiot had the audacity to tell me that with Abraham Lincoln. was like, wait a minute, Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican? You're telling me that's when the big switch happened? The Republicans party started with Abraham Lincoln. Okay. So let's fast forward a little bit. The whole Civil War, that was Democrats who were fighting for their right to own slaves. Okay. Fast forward some more. This guy comes back and he's only typing in names. So he goes with FDR. I go, oh, FDR, let's talk about him. Okay. FDR is one of the most racist presidents we ever had. His first time around, he didn't care about the black vote, told black voters, I don't want your vote. You're not people to me. Okay. So 4 years later, when he started realizing that because of that area had such a high black population, he realized he needed their vote to win that area. Right. So what did he do? They were in such dire conditions because let's be honest, even during his time, they were still reeling from slavery. Slavery set them back years. And so what he did was he came out with this New Deal is what he called it. And it was basically the first welfare system. And he sold it as basically a reparation, but it wasn't. So on the Republican side, I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and read exactly how they pitched it. They didn't pitch it good. They were basically denying. They were like, no, we don't want this deal to go through. Now, with people in that area, because, communication wasn't like it is now. So if you were going to make a speech, you had to make it very clear what you were saying. They denied the deal. So the people there are like, you're denying us food for our children? That's what they heard. But instead, what they should have done was let him know, because this was what was happening. They were like, no, we don't want that because it's gonna keep these people trapped. They didn't look at the fine print that, and just like today, that system is if you make $1 more than what they're giving you, you lose it, and nobody can live like that. It's called stealth slavery, or as Margaret Sanger, white supremacist eugenics bitch, said. She called it the urban plantation. Her idea was that if we can't have slaves, we're going to do it secretly. We're going to trick these people into thinking we're their friends. Okay. So let's fast forward. People want to talk about John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson as another big switch perpetrator, whatever you want to call it. So what happened in that time? Why was it that there's so much evidence in the murders of Dr. King and Malcolm X? Why is there so much evidence that those orders came from the highest seat of office, which is the president? Who was president during those times? Johnson, both times. So let's talk about Lyndon Johnson, the guy that's supposedly helped save the minorities in America. He was good friends with Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd was a Grand Wizard in the Ku Klux Klan. I don't know why they say Grand Wizards or whatever. Maybe they jerk each other off and play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. But good friends. Had lots of meetings with him at the White House. Why? I don't know. Maybe they were planning on killing Malcolm X. Let's talk about Malcolm X before he died. A lot of people want to quote Malcolm X and talk about, revolution this, revolution that. You don't know shit about Malcolm X, because before he died, he warned us all about the white liberal that sticks his hand out in friendship. That is really a racist. Okay. Remember I mentioned Margaret Sanger, the lady did all her fine works in eugenics and basically started what is now called Planned Parenthood. She wrote a manifesto called The Extermination. I don't like using this word. I'm just quoting what her title is. The Extermination of the Negro. It's a manifesto and manual on how to exterminate the black race. Okay.
Yep.
Let's fast forward, okay, to the modern Democrats. Why is Hillary Clinton, the one who ran in the last election, saying that Margaret Sanger was a big influence and a great soul to her? Are you kidding me? My man. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Malcolm X. I'm glad somebody's taking in the knowledge I'm trying to drop on you people. How high? Great movie. Margaret Sanger is apparently an influence to Hillary Clinton. Let's talk about the president we have now, Joe Biden. We're going to go back to Hillary Clinton. Don't get me. We're going to go back. Okay. Both Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton have publicly stated their praise for women like Margaret Sanger. But not only that, they also both gave eulogies. Remember when I was talking about Robert Byrd, the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, that was having meetings with Lyndon Johnson right around the time Malcolm X was murdered? Yeah. That guy, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, both gave eulogies at his funeral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he was some good guy or something.
Your current political figures that you think are saving all Democrats, all of you guys, think about this. You say that you're not a racist and that you want to rid the world of racism. Do you know why I'm not a Democrat anymore? Because I learned this stuff. I'm not part of that party. Do you know that the Democrats right now are going forward with that extermination plan that Margaret Sanger wrote out? Everything they're doing right now is in that manifesto. Look it up. And don't hit me. Come back with me. I dare you. Come back at me with a CNN article.
Oh, God.
Or Google.
Google's connected to CNN anyway, so you're going to get the same answer.
I'm not even going to lie, man. This might be our last show. We're going to get kicked off of here. It's ridiculous. No,
Wait.
the Democrat Party isn't the tolerance party. They're the intolerance party. Look at us now. We can't even speak anymore. We can't even say what we want. Okay? Sorry.
We're so censored in everything that we do. It's crazy. But if you look, you remember that documentary I told you watch, Shot in the Dark or whatever the documentary was about all the conspiracy theories and what's that?
That's this show.
Well, yeah. Well, what was the fucking name of that documentary that I sent you? Into the Shadows. Into the Shadows goes into all that stuff, and it's crazy, dude. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but people still want to throw a blind eye to it, and that's what's kind of scary.
Well, so let me tell you this, bro. This is something that pisses me off. So my girl has some liberal friends. Well, I'd say had now. And they're all like mad at her. You know what I mean? This is what pisses me off about them. She, when I first met her, was pretty liberal in her beliefs, but admittedly said, I'm not really that into politics. I don't pay attention. But being around me, she asked questions. I'm going to tell you right now, on God, I've never forced my beliefs down her throat. But when she asks me a question, I give her the spots to go look for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I tell her to go look at all the other ones too. Go look at Google. Go look at CNN. Be a judge for yourself, but look at facts. That's what I do. I fact slap people. I don't care about opinions or shit like that. That's why I don't care if somebody calls me a racist. If you call me racist, you're so damn ignorant. I don't want you to like me.
Yeah.
Because I can't, it's ridiculous. But now my girl is getting messages left and right from these, vegan, gluten intolerant bitches that, oh, you've changed so much. I don't know what's happened to you. And even her sister has said that she's up my ass so far that she doesn't even know what she believes anymore. And this pisses me off for the very reason that you say you care about her, but you seem to think she doesn't have a mind of her own. Like she's not smart enough to come to these conclusions on her own. Ask my girl any time of the day, week, month, year. I don't like talking about politics with her. She'll come to me with shit, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm playing a video game, or I'm watching Star Wars or something. I'm watching the Niners. I don't want to talk about politics. The world sucks. And that's what she's going through right now. She had a friend the other day text her talking about, I'm so worried about you. I haven't heard from you and blah, blah, blah. I'm just really, really worried. Now, the insinuation there is that I'm like some abusive prick that's keeping her on lockdown or whatever. But no, the bitch is,
bro. You're such a dick.
The bitch is mad that she came over to my house. I didn't bring up politics. She started that conversation talking politics, and I just ate her alive on it. She tried to bring up abortion to me, and I talked about responsibility. Like, I know abortion is a touchy subject, but I don't believe in it. You want to hate me for it? Fine, whatever. I don't believe in abortion. I believe in having some personal responsibility. Here's why I say that. Sorry, I'm gonna let you touch on this in a minute. But people always want to say that abortion is the way to go and this and that, and a woman should have the right to choose. No, a woman should choose to go to the damn pharmacy, buy a pack of condoms or some birth control. That's what she should do. And they don't. So instead of doing, and even if they don't do that, there's this little pill called Plan B. Okay. Now you could say that I'm contradicting myself by saying, supporting Plan B, but it takes 3 to 5 days for the sperm to hit the egg. It is not a baby until the sperm hits the egg. It is just it's a sperm cell. Okay. So you have 3 to 5 days. Then this bitch has the audacity to tell me, well, what about all the women that got raped? I'm like, okay, so do you know the percentage of women that actually get pregnant when they get raped? No, it's less than 1%. Stupid. Here's where it gets controversial. Warning you guys now ahead of time. I don't believe that bullshit. First of all, if you get raped, you have an unfortunate. I think rapists should all be murdered and castrated. Well, castrated first. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning rape. Fuck rapists with a cactus. What I'm saying is that if you get raped, you unfortunately now have a responsibility. If you don't go report it immediately, the next girl that gets raped by that guy, her blood is on your hands. Period. And I know, my street code, the whole no snitching rule. I'm sorry, but if you're not participating in crime, the no snitching rule doesn't apply to you. Snitch all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly, Wesley. Like, I'm sorry. A rapist most of the time is going to buy condoms. And if he doesn't, he's not smart enough to get away with it. Period. And then her argument after that was, well, the girl's too traumatized to go. I'm sorry. No, that's not an excuse. You should be thinking that I got to stop this. This guy can't go out and do this to somebody else. You have that responsibility. It's unfortunate. It sucks that it happened to you, but you have that responsibility. The other responsibility is this. If you don't want to get knocked up by that guy, get your ass to the doctor, rape kit, all that stuff, DNA, let him do the DNA test to help catch this guy and take that little contraceptive. So no, I don't think about women who got raped having abortions because it doesn't happen. It's so rare. The only ones that do, you find them 10 years later and the kid's 6 years old because she was locked in a basement for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? And I understand the math on that. I'm saying, I'm not saying he was 6-year-old for 10 years. Don't get stupid on me now. But that's my belief on it. And she had no argument to that. Why? Because they don't think this shit through. They're idiots. I don't believe in abortion because I believe in life. And you want to get mad at me for that? You guys ain't mad that Muslims are in the Middle East beating their wives, making them cover up, can't even look at a man or you get stoned. You're not mad at that. No, tolerance, right? But I'm mad that you're killing babies, aborting them because you're too irresponsible to wear protection or take pills. Come on now. I got no sympathy for you. Go ahead, bro.
Boom, mic drop.
Sorry. I mean, and honestly, like everybody that watches, like I care about all you guys. But this is me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. Like that sucks. But this is what I believe. If you believe opposite, I don't hate you. I hate you when you come to my house and then try to act like you got a point and then you get owned and I just don't want to talk about it. This is why you brought it up, stupid. Like you think you came here equipped for war to get in a debate with me, but you forgot that I'm too smart for that shit. I got a really high IQ, damn it. I don't waste it. And I damn sure ain't gonna be. I'm damn sure I'm not gonna be owned by some liberal chick who grew up with a silver spoon over here crying about first world problems and shit. Like I'm good. I don't need all that.
Yeah, that sounds like no fun to me. I'll pass too. I'll pass on all that nonsense.
But it's the fact that I have a strong personality and speak my mind.
And people nowadays really can't handle that. I mean, they come across that, and it's you're too offensive and all kinds. You're everything in the book right there.
I don't belong in today's world.
No, you very much do belong in this today's world. It's just people can't handle the truth.
It is, bro. I'm chugging Coke though over here, so it's like I got that
His throat wasn't dry from that.
high fructose corn syrup just like lubricating my throat right now. No homo. Yeah, man. It's to me, it's personal responsibility. Like I'm not into accidents. To me, if prime example, Tristan, if I need to shut up, just type it in the comments. But my brother was a young father and he stepped up and did his thing. So, and he's a proud father now. I'm not going to tell you what age he was, but if you know me and you know my brother, we started young. You did too. I'm not even in front. I know you're, he's just smiling. But yeah, personal responsibility. You don't want a baby, don't have one, period. Be responsible. But I'm going on this rant because people are, my girl's friends are harassing her now about her beliefs. Like she's not allowed to have her own opinions.
Yeah, that's just wild. But that's the world we live in today, bro. I mean, people aren't allowed to have their own beliefs, and that's just what it comes down to. If you don't agree with what they agree with, then they hate you. You're racist. You're a piece of shit. You're this. You're that. It's insane, bro. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, put it this way, bro. Like, I don't let politics come in between me and anybody. Like, if you believe what you believe, whatever, that's fine. Like, I have Democrat friends. I have, I have Republican friends. And I disagree with both of them, and I agree with both of them on some issues.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Like, I'm not one of those people. Like, you're allowed to say what you want to say around me, but you got to remember that I'm allowed to say what I want to say. It's the same thing. So I'm not going to get mad at you for having a different belief in me. I do know the criminal world a little bit, and hey, my brother does too. You do too. Like, hey, we all got a past on here. And one thing that happened recently, one of my girl's family members stopped talking to her for a while because of her political beliefs. So I made a point. I'm like, yo, a person that does that will drop a family member over politics. That's the person that's going to be singing in an interrogation room, dropping dimes left and right, if it were to ever come down to that. Mm-hmm. I know a snitch when I see one. And to me, a snitch is just a coward. So people who do that, you mad at people because of what they believe in? Come on, man. You're just a coward. You're afraid of other people's opinions. Think about that.
Yeah.
You're not a man.
That's what 2020's brought out in everybody. That's just the way it is these days.
Bro, I got gay friends that say the word fag to each other, and I can say it to them. I don't. I try not to, but I grew up saying that to all my friends. That's the 90s. Anybody that grew up in the 90s and the 80s knows that word was thrown around a lot, and it didn't necessarily mean
sure.
It wasn't necessarily homophobic. It was just an insult. And you say that to your best friends. So I'm not a words guy. I don't take words.
What? I said, I'm sure I've called you that a few times growing up as kids.
I'm kicking you off now. Yeah, no, we definitely have, it's a different time, different place. I'm not one of those people. I'm not. Like, my friends and me growing up, again, I was the token white kid or Italian kid, if you will, among all my friends. And we made fun of racism. It wasn't a big, you could say that it's been a big issue, but it wasn't. We made fun of it. To us, people who are racist were retarded, inbred rednecks. That's what racism was to us.
Yeah. Well, people want to point the finger and say, "Oh, Trump's caused this big divide in the world, or this person's caused the divide." It's like, well, Obama helped with it, and then the media really helped with it this year, 2020. I mean, the media has completely split America down the middle, and it's so far left and so far right, and it's because of the media. And the agenda they push.
Obama, I don't think Obama so much had a lot to do with it. I kind of feel bad for the Obamas in a lot of ways because
I don't, not at all.
They were, well, hear me out first, liberal. if you look at the history of the Democrat Party and the whole Margaret Sanger thing I was just talking about, I think they thought they were going to help, but I think the rest of the Democrat Party used them. KRS-One, one of my favorite rappers, said this. There's a documentary called The Obama Deception, and KRS-One said this, and it was powerful. They put a black face on the New World Order. KRS ain't buying it. And that's what they did. I think Obama had good intentions, to be honest. Hey, if you have a different opinion, you have a different opinion. I'm just saying that's my opinion. I don't look at him in the same light as I do as a Joe Biden or a Hillary Clinton. I just don't. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about that, and we could touch on that another day. I only voted for him once, though. That was when I was still a Democrat, and when I figured this whole thing.
Yeah, I only voted for him once too, and that was his first run at it, first crack at his first term.
That was huge, though, man. Like, let's be honest.
Oh, it was. It was one of the biggest moments in American history. Our first black president. I mean, come on. Like, we talked about growing up in school. There'll probably never be a woman president, and there'll probably never be a black president. Like, we were raised to believe that, and then it happened. You know what I mean? Like, that's.
Hey, you know what, though? My uncle always told me, he's like, you'll see a black president before you ever see an Italian president. And guess what? He's right. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I personally think, and this is just a theory of mine, I don't know if there's really any evidence to back. There's a lot of evidence that when John Gotti died, that the cancer he got was like literally, I want to say planted, but in the type of water you drink and all that, like they showed the water in that wing of the prison, which he was one of the only guys in. And they were like, we're surprised he didn't get cancer earlier. I think they knew what they were doing with him. And I think the reason they locked him up is because they knew if that guy went any further, he would run for president and he probably would have got it. Because here's the thing about John, we came back full circle because I was talking about The Godfather. Anybody from New York or Queens in general knows that back in the 80s when John was, you know, on the cover of Time magazine all the time, they portrayed him as the gangster, like it's the Dapper Don and all that. But what people don't realize is that there were community centers being built on his dime. He was saving small businesses from being closed down by corporations because people were afraid to go against John Gotti when he came in and dealt with it. The people loved him. If you look at the news coverage of his trial, hey, there were thousands of people outside booing when he was
crowded.
And I'm gonna say this. I don't know him like other people, you know, his family would know him or his friends or whatever. I'm just gonna say this. I don't think the government should be taking the word of somebody who doesn't want to do 30 years in prison because they'll just say anything. And I think Sammy the Bull Gravano is full of shit. I think anybody that, if there's supposedly a code, like I said, I don't believe the mafia exists. I don't think it ever did. I think it was made up by rats and FBI agents. But he talks about this code of omerta where it's silence. You don't rat on your friends, whatever, your family. You don't talk. You don't sing. You broke. That's a code. That's a hell of a code to break.
Yeah, that's like the biggest no code to break right there.
Just in life, not even like, you know, like mob movies. Like loyalty is a big deal, but especially among Italians. But if you're willing to sell your soul to get out of prison, why should the government be able to trust you? This man supposedly murdered 30 some odd people that he admitted. Okay. But he gets off scot-free and John Gotti's got to rot away in prison. By the way, they didn't have one murder on John Gotti, only that Sammy told him that he ordered the murders. But in the tapes, John Gotti's pissed off because Sammy's over here like killing. He's like, yo, he's killing people left and right. Like, this is ridiculous. So I think my personally little conspiracy theory here, I think they killed him for that reason. threw him in prison and had him off for that reason, because that dude would have been president probably. And a lot of people would have voted for him. So who knows?
Something we'll never.
I think I think you know, people laughing at Kanye West for running for president. And well, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. There's a point to this. You can sit here and say all you want about Kanye running for president, but these celebrities getting mad about it and saying, like, you know, it's a joke and no, it's not a joke. That is your right in this country. You don't have to be a politician to run for president. I don't care if you like Kanye West or not. That's a very good representation, though, of what this country's about. He reminded people that anybody could run for president, and you don't even have to be rich. You just got to put on a good campaign. So don't be surprised in the next 20 years if we even still have a voting system, if like some social media figure starts running for president. It's going to happen.
Trump wasn't a politician. He became president. He was just some businessman, you know?
Yeah. A businessman that all these rappers and everybody loved until he ran for president. Just going to throw that in there.
And then became president, and they were brainwashed by the far left media, and now everybody hates him.
That's why I don't watch the news, bro.
What's up?
That's why I don't watch the news.
I had to stop, bro. It's insane. It's not even news anymore.
No, it's literally just, it's propaganda.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I learned about propaganda. I've read about propaganda. I know it when I see it.
Well, and then into the shadows, that documentary I was talking about, like Soros and all these Democrats, they're all tied together and they own all these news channels, bro. And then like Fox News, it kind of went like when Trump first was elected, they were all on Trump. Now, in the last year, Biden's old campaign manager became the president of Fox News. And that's why they totally changed their script and put out a totally different narrative. And they're all on Biden's nuts. Like all these media outlets and social media outlets, they're all connected in some way. And it's insane how they're all connected, bro. And it makes sense of the bullshit that they spew out of their mouths.
Well, here's the thing, man. Like I've always said, you know, I support the notion of Black Lives Matter. I just don't support the organization. I don't support the guy running it, George. Black lives do matter, not to the guy running it, though. Mm-mm. That organization was a tool for political gain. And the people who thought they were fighting injustice didn't even know that that's what was happening, because it was so smokescreen with all this other stuff going on.
You know all the money that's getting donated to the Black Lives Matter organization. You know where that money's going? To the Democratic campaign parties. That's where it goes.
And there's some other spots it's being filtered into too. But I've never, I don't like that. I hate that's the Republicans I hate. With that when somebody says Black Lives Matter, no, all lives matter. It's like, okay, we know. All right.
Yes,
like,
and
their moment, you know what I mean? They're trying to make a statement. It's not about you right now. I was in 100% agreement with that. I just don't agree with some of the things the organization did, and I don't agree with the guy running it, because that dude was putting pallets of bricks, paying for pallets of bricks to be delivered to these cities where these peaceful protests, which they were until they planted some things there. So, there's constant talk about all these. I think they've said about Donald Trump that he's Hitler. I will tell you who quotes Hitler. That's Hillary Clinton. I can bring up, maybe I'll do that next show. Hillary Clinton, I can bring up videos where she's quoting Hitler verbatim. And they're also pushing laws that Hitler wanted to push, like gun control. If you believe in gun control, fine. I don't. I believe gun control is holding it with two hands. But one of the things Hitler said is, if you want to take over a nation, you must first disarm its citizens. That's what they're trying to do. Think about this, people. You can be liberal all you want. I support gays. Gays. That was one of the things that took me so long to come around and like stop hating Republicans so much. was because it was just, to me, it was archaic that they were saying that gays shouldn't be able to get married. I think gays have the same rights to be just as unhappy as the rest of us. They want to get married.
100%.
You know what I mean? So no, I don't believe in all the conservative stuff. But right now, the problem, the parasite is the liberal.
Yeah.
That's the parasite right now. You're not going to convince me that the policies they're pushing are somehow going to save this country, because they all cost way too much money. First of all, money that we don't have. Secondly, they're all look at all the ties to China. Do you really trust that country?
No, I mean, and Biden's going to jump right back in, 2 feet, jumping right in with China.
No, both ass cheeks.
What's up?
First.
What up?
Biden goes in ass first.
Yeah, our mouth first, trying to find the kids.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man.
My girl said it best, dude. She's like, watch, just wait. We're going to find out that there's a Biden island somewhere. And there is, guaranteed, or your money back.
His brother owns an island right next to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
I wish they would scoop.
But hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm an idiot. So for believing in all that shit, we'll fuck off. That's all I got to say.
I bet you there's no scuba diving allowed in those waters.
Nope.
Because there's probably some bodies down there.
And that's another thing. It's like, I can't believe how quiet ever since Epstein's been arrested, bro, how quiet everything is. Like, come on. Like, you got his right-hand man in prison, right, in jail right now, and you don't hear anything of it. None of the shit that was confiscated out of the dude's house, nothing. It's just all been
because all the celebrities that were making that documentary to reveal everything that's been going on, they're all dead now. Anthony Bourdain,
Chester Bennington, the Bourdain, and then Chris Cornell. And then Avicii. We're all making a documentary together about it.
I saw
mysteriously ended up either hanging themselves or overdosing. Kind of weird.
I saw a meme that was just so on point, and it had a picture of Hillary Clinton. And it said, I don't care who you are. Nobody has 67 friends that have killed themselves.
Right.
Straight up. I'm going to close with that, though. We are at the Power Hour. Thank you guys for joining. You guys are the best. I didn't see everybody that was watching, but thank you. If I offended you, you probably deserve to be offended. Love you guys all. You want to close out with anything, Garrett?
No. Happy New Year. Everybody enjoy themselves. Be safe.
All right. We are out.
Filthy animals. Peace.
I'm trying to leave. See you guys later.
It's crazy out here, man. I mean, there's a lot going on in the streets. There's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm. Tipsy, I'm calm, then I blow up like Vietnam bomb.